The power utility by the Public Investment Corporation to the controversial head of generation, Matshela Koko, appearing at the Labour Court for the second time to try and prevent himself from being fired without a hearing.
First, it was announced that the Public Investment Corporation, which administers billions of rand on behalf of the Government Employees Pension Fund, had decided to give Eskom a 5 billion rand short-term loan to help it stay afloat till the end of next month, the end of Eskom's financial year. That drew sharp criticism from public sector unions, NEHAO and the Public Servants Association. They charged that Eskom got itself into a financial mess through looting by top managers and therefore should not be bailed out with workers' money. The PIC later apologized for not consulting the unions about the bailout. And now, Eskom says its financial woes could soon be a thing of the past because local banks are now keen to lend it money once again.
We now have a new board, and the new board has activated plans to deal with the allegations of corruption. So all of those things have sent a strong and clear signal to the market to say that Eskom is serious about stamping out corruption, which is why the market is now beginning to accommodate us and sit around the table, and they are now beginning to extend loan facilities to us.
Amidst all of that, the Competition Commission announced that it was charging 4 companies for collusive tendering at Eskom. This over a 4.5 billion rand tender issued 2 years ago. While that was going on, controversial Eskom head of generation, Matshela Koko, appeared at the Labour Court trying to stave off attempts by the new management to get rid of him over corruption allegations without going through a disciplinary hearing. The attempt was made 2 weeks ago, but Eskom has since slapped him with new disciplinary charges. But he remains suspicious and fearful that the new hearing could be abandoned midway through and find himself being summarily dismissed. He wants the court to issue an order preventing Eskom from doing so.
Now it's stated, there's an abandonment on these papers. There is no abandonment. As I said,
so the submission that the threat is gone.
Threat is gone.
You are submitted that is not.
There's no. They say that maybe the disciplinary process will result in an acquittal. That's not what they say. They say that if it results in the finding of guilty, they will summarily dismiss. They will ask for summary dismissal. But there's no basis here where they are saying, but we're abandoning our viewpoint that we can, without the disciplinary process, continue. So suppose your lordship does not constrain this, and they cease that disciplinary process tomorrow or whenever, and they simply give my client notice of termination as they threaten to do, and as they say they are entitled to do, then your lordship is going to hear an argument, no, now we have to go to the CCMA.
Judgment in the matter has been reserved. In the meantime, Eskom is planning to push ahead with Koko's new disciplinary next week.
Primarily, these are related to allegations that he has made some trips overseas which he did not declare, because in terms of the regulations that govern companies like Eskom, when you get trips from overseas to overseas and elsewhere from other players in the market, you need to declare. And our records are showing that he did not declare it. Obviously, in Parliament, he said to parliamentarians that the trips were paid from his own coffers. But the evidence that is out in the open through the so-called Gupta leaks are showing that the trips were paid by Gupta link companies.
Koko says he looks forward to clearing his name at the new disciplinary hearing.
Whatever the outcome of the process, I will comply. I have followed on Twitter. I note that the allegations that are taken as gospel that I've lied to Parliament, I dispute that. And during the course of my hearing, I will tell my part that I've been truthful to Parliament, I've not been contemptuous to Parliament.
The question now is, will Eskom finally succeed in getting rid of the controversial Matshela Koko? Only time will tell. Mbongani Muchwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.